Hey guys, welcome to another Alpha M project, and we are coming to you live from the tropical island of my car again. I need better sets. I need a staff, really, but that isn't happening anytime soon. Anyway, today's video and topic is on friendship. And you're like, dude, I got enough friends, and you're all my friends, but the reason I'm doing this video is because one of my friends is in from out of town. He's actually passing through. He's on his way to the airport. He came in the other night. He works for Hershey Company, the people that make candy, and his name is Will. And the reason why I wanted you guys to meet Will and really to discuss friendship is because on paper, we have nothing in common. Like, nothing. But for some reason, we're like brothers, and from brothers from a less stylish mother is not mine. My mom's pretty unstylish anyway, but different day, different topic. But I find that basically with friendships, the friendships that I cherish the most are the people that are like Will, that are, you know, we really probably shouldn't be friends, but for some reason the universe aligned and we have connected. We don't have that much in common, but we just, you know, we're brothers and we feel like brothers, and, you know, you just love each other. And this is getting all like Oprah. Will and I are just gonna hug and cry for a little while, and I think it's important that you see. But our worlds are so different. Will is the smartest person that did you ever meet a nuclear engineer? Well, Will is a nuclear engineer. He is a nuclear engineer. He was a nuclear engineer in the Navy for a while. He went to Annapolis, got his undergrad, then went to Georgia Tech to get his master's in sonar engineering, then went to nuke school for nuclear engineering for the Navy, finished top out of anybody who's ever gone through the nuclear engineering program. Then he took a job at then he went to Wharton once he got out of the Navy and got his master's from Penn, Wharton School of Business, then took a job at the Boston Consulting Group, and then took a job at Hershey. So anyway, the guy is smart. Now, that being said, you drop me, you drop him, with no cell phone and no wallet in the center of the hood, I'm getting out alive. Him, I'm not so sure. Okay, everybody, this is Will. Will, this is everybody.
Hi, everybody.
You're not on YouTube. You haven't made it that far. We're on the private session, the private site. Will, I was telling everybody, we were talking about, this is a section called the Alpha M Project, where each week we talk about something different that makes men men in today's world. And so I thought, who more masculine than you?
That's true.
But no, today's lesson or talk was about friendship. And about how, on paper, you and I shouldn't be friends.
Okay. And
that, you know, our worlds are so different. But, you know, through it all, you know, we have become friends because of, you know, I can't think of it. Yeah, cut. But no, we've become friends, and it's really the friendships with people that you might not necessarily have a whole lot technically in common with, that you get so much from. And so, what do you have to say about that? Not like he's on the spot or anything, but go on, Will.
No, I think that's absolutely right. I mean,
I gave them a little bit of your history, but for the viewers, you are doing what now?
So I work in corporate strategy at the Hershey Company, so I make candy for a living.
But there's a little more than that. No? That's it. He's a candy maker. But anyway, back to what we were talking about as far as friendship. What were you going to say?
I'm going to say it. Give me a second. Just keep it rolling. You can cut out whatever.
I can cut in and cut out.
As long as you have enough.
There's always enough. I talk too much. But okay, how about this? Friendship. Forget that topic. Today we're talking about staying in school. Because Will has done well for himself, because he's a smarty pants. What are some advice you would give, you know, people as far as education? Is it ever too late to go back to school, or, I mean, what's your?
You know, I don't know about whether it's too late or not to go back to school. You know, my philosophy on education is that it's getting darn expensive. I've got 2 kids. And, you know, I've mapped it out. It looks like it's going to be about $250, $300 grand for each. So my advice to a child preparing for college and going into college is, you don't need to go to to the brand name Ivy League institution. It's just not necessary. What you do need to do is go to something with a little bit of name recognition, probably a state school if you live in a state with some good schools, and absolutely do well there. So that coming out, you can get into a grad school that'll pay your way.
Sticking with the education theme.
We can get back to Birch.
He's like, okay. Part of Will's previous employment with, as he spits latte through his nose, part of Will's previous employment was working for the Boston Consulting Group. And what he did basically, he would go in, if you've seen the movie Office Space, they go in and the two Bobs, it would just be like, okay, yeah, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. And one of the big issues Will had was that it was a company that it was Bausch & Lomb. Cut! So anyway, education. Will, you hire people now?
I do hire people.
So what do you look for? Is it, when you meet with somebody or you're potentially looking to interview somebody, what are you looking for in an employee?
So I actually get very little out of the resume. I find that if the HR department puts about 15 resumes in front of me, I can barely tell the difference between any of them. There's so many applicants for any given position nowadays that everybody looks good and everybody knows how to write a good resume. What I look for in an interview is poise, confidence, the ability to have a conversation so that you can own a room. If I've got somebody on my team that can go in and own a room and own a conversation, then I'm pretty confident that we can teach them the technical aspects or mechanics to get things done. It's about integrity first, it's about motivation, and then the technical aspects you can learn that later. So
the takeaway: own the room. Confidence is key. You have two people that go in for the same job. On paper, technically, they look identical. It's who walks in and presents the best package, the best image. Smile, handshake. Who looks like they put more than 5 minutes into getting ready in the morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a slate of people come through, and
speak up, Will.
What?
Speak up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't we have a microphone or something?
We do, external mic, but it's not working. Go, talk.
I forget what we were talking about. We're talking about,
slate of people.
Presenting yourself well for an interview. It absolutely is essential. I've interviewed people and just cut people on the spot for showing up, not wearing a tie. Just take the 5 seconds it takes to look like you care about the job you're interviewing for.
Circling back, you look. I consulted with Will on the frames. They're a nice pair of semi-rimless Ray-Bans, very sharp. We didn't go with black because of his light complexion, because of his fair undertones. We went with something a little bit more muted, so we went with brown. The tortoiseshell, as a matter of fact. But circling back around the friendship.
All right, keys to friendship. Friendship's a lot easier nowadays because of Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that, where you can keep in touch with people, keep up to speed on what they're doing. Keeping in touch is key. I don't know where I'm going with that. Keeping in touch is key. Keeping in touch is key, so that when you're
the takeaway to this, Will feels that keeping in touch is key.
I've said that 3 times.
4. But
I'm not going to say it again. People travel a lot nowadays. I travel a lot in my job. I traveled a whole lot in my last job. And it's nice when you have a network of friends that you can reach out to, like Aaron. Every time I come through Atlanta, I want to get together with Aaron and catch up and maintain that bond we've developed
hit the
over
massage
the years.
Parlors like old time's sake.
Prostitutes.
Hookers are big on our agenda. We go down to this place called Chocolate City. Woo! Wild times. All right, in conclusion, gentlemen, Will and I are going to catch up. We've got a lot of catching up to do in about 45 minutes before he has to go and catch his flight. But I thought that it was great for you guys to meet one of my best friends and somebody that I feel close with, even though I don't see him every day. It's always just like we left off when we see each other. Right, Will?
Right.
I told him we were just going to hug and cry. I'm Italian, Will is not, and so you notice the pat. I go in for the hug. Say goodbye, Will.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you guys.